Hey, I'm Kev welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross. Kev Hillman has not had a good time since he's been known as High Side. He has definitely been falling quite a few times in the previous couple of races. Let's see if we can get back on track in the penultimate round of the season around the Metlife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. As of course it's raining here in New Jersey around the stadium, which is the home to, I believe, this is the stadium which is home to the Giants and the Jets in the NFL. Of course, being a Pats fan, not the biggest fan of this place, but we'll see if Hillman can do well in these wet conditions for the first time. He's experiencing this in Supercross. Once again, almost dunking over. And this track seems to be very different from St. Louis. Okay, I guess you're not allowed to climb up the bank. As I say that, we're getting massive jumps now on this track. And it opens up a bit. I thought it would be a bit more tight and twisty like Detroit, which we had early in the season. This is a bit like Toronto's track, isn't it? As you get some massive jumps towards the end of that. Rip the bike round. And this is going to be a minute 10, is it? Almost minute 8. Now working again around minute 2, minute 1 be right up there, so even in these conditions. So it's still way off the pace. So Hillman down the inside of Sexton. That's what we're battling with. Oh, and once again climbing on that front wheel and hugging to the dirt, just about. So we're going a bit wider through the right hand and trying to slide the bike round. But having Sexton there, he's just in the way, Chase. Get out of the way. As now he's pushed backwards as he gets into the boundary again. What are you doing, Hillman? You're trying to show off Monster, the official sponsor of the series. Trying to get those extra sponsorship dollars, isn't he? So you go through the final corner. And again, 108.4. Way off the pace, almost into the Suzuki sign. Oh, but that's worked out well with these mounds. Good set of jumps. Oh no, he's cartwheeled. I was about to say much better over those set of jumps, but then that happened, so this is definitely going to be a 5-lap effort, I feel. So you guys slide the bike round to the outside. The scores isn't this bad, but it's just the pet hate of having mounds everywhere. Giant mounds everywhere. Being able to negotiate those properly. That's why he's got such a big crowd. Ojim Stadium, pouring it down. So doing endo. I don't know what you're doing, Hillman. There you go. You found your way back onto the track, just about. But you just want to show off Monster though. In this qualifying effort. Let's see if we can actually put a proper effort in. So we're trying to rip the bike around, almost losing the rear. Well, that's much better now into this section. Oh, I just had to let up a bit more on the gas into that second half of that section. Seems to work much better. Once again, bucking though. One of those mounds losing the rear end. Goes into there, but get out of it. So this is for the rider, as that's much better. Letting off the gas seems to be the tactic around here, not just gunning it like a hell. They go much better over those set of jumps, so he might be right up there. 102. He is. That's more like it, Hillman. Let's see if we can have one good final effort here. As that's the whole shot. We're launching a straight line towards that, and it's like this is a bit all over the place in this first section. Good whip. Good move down the inside of that 746. Oh, then he gets bucking again. There's a bit wide going into that right-hander. A bit like that St. Louis corner. That's all. There goes the advertising in front. Into the inside again. So this circuit's actually not that bad once you get hang of these mounds. Mound management seems to be the name of the game as he almost ends up into the scenery, Hillman, as he does a 101.6. As look at that in second behind Zach Osborne, who's a demon in qualifying, just 3/10 behind, 3/10 ahead of Joey in first. A top Kawasaki for Hillman. Great qualifying, almost his first pole, I believe it is, in Supercross as well. Then you've got Smith in fourth, Adam in fifth, Alex Martin sixth, Christian Craig seventh, Dean Fernandez eighth, Mitchell Allison ninth, Cameron McAdoo in 10th, and Carl Peters in 11th for Chase Sexton at the back alongside Chaz. Oh, he really does need to improve his qualifying, the Honda man. As we get a decent amount of credits, no doubt, for that performance in qualifying. Let's see if you can do a bit better in the race for once.
The final race of the evening, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship main event. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Cheney. Welcome to our live coverage from Metlife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The world's fastest Supercross riders have battled hard just to make it to this moment. Who will rise up and stand on the top step of the podium tonight? He has the speed and the style that makes him a fan favorite. The riders are lined up. The gate is about to drop. Who will get the whole shot?
As there is high side, revving it up. Waiting for the gate to drop. And getting an excellent start. Look at that. Just crowded out on the inside line. Well, he's fantastic over the mounds. Going for the lead, is he? Into the left-hander. Head of Zach Osborne and Adam. And high side leads. In the wet. No, he's off. He's back on. It's all good. Got Zach Osborne right in his tail though. And that has Varner leads. Adam down the inside, full of confidence after winning last time out. And with how close the top five is, every position is crucial at the end of this season. As Adam gets into Hillman, he's pushed him wide. Get back on the track. He goes down the inside of Zach. We've got Dean Fernandez in the Yamaha. In third, we're having a manufacturer punch up here. Husqvarna leads. Kawasaki second, but for how much longer? Yamaha in third. As they go over the first set of jumps. Beautifully done. Hillman into the lead. This is a return to form. He just needed rain, you know? Just needed a bit more like Europe. He's got Cameron McAdoo rounding out the top five. What the hell is going over those set of mounts again? As we're going to have around 11 or 12 laps. So only on the second. We've still got a long way to go in this race. And no doubt Hillman knows that in his past couple of races. Trying to have a good run over these mountains, but just landed on the wrong spot. And a bit wide in the final corner, but he gets the run as there's level with Zach Osborne going on to the third lap. And Husqvarna leads now. We know how good Hillman is over these set of mountains. Look at that again, grabbing the lead. There's a Renzo up to fourth. Renzo, where's he come from? Someone holds the inside line, just holding off Osborne on the Husqvarna. As all Mitchell Harrison into the top 5. Where's Smith? Where's Chaz in all of this though? So 2 of the 5. Top 5 nowhere to be seen. Adams dropped out the top 5 and it's like. He's got Zach Osborne just in front of Hillman. Hillman doing his best to chase down the Husqvarna. It's not quite matching the speed though. Over those intermediate mounds. He's over the good stuff. Not those intermediate ones. He goes through the first corner. This is where he can close his gap up to Osborne, maybe to even take the lead. Holds off the Husqvarna with a block pass. And whips it good out of the corner. As he's got a 2-second lead already. What? Over a corner. Taking up wide line and getting into these jumps. Maybe not the best line. You've got to think of adjusting that. But still, he's leading. That's the main thing. Hillman back on top. With GoPro. With Kawasaki. Making his think of extending that lead into the second half of this race, which we're about to enter. And he does a minute that time. Minute 0.5, 1.9 ahead. Zach Osborne 4.6 ahead of Dean Fernandez, then 6.4 ahead of Mitchell Harrison. It's already a bit of a gap for the top 2 over the rest. This is going to be Osborne and Hillman show. Or will it be a one-man show? We'll find out in the second half of this race. It goes 4-second lead now. It's really struggling to have any grip through that fast right-hander. Say hello to the crowd. Probably should be thinking of scrubbing it over these jumps, these massive ones. But then when he's scrubbed in the past, it has not always ended up well. Thinking back to Indianapolis. Thinking back to Detroit as well. He has a 4.9 second gap over Osborne. Oh, he's loving these conditions. Oh, but he's gone a bit wide. Get back on the track. What are you doing, Hillman? Just so you get into a rhythm, you try and get out of it. Got the flow of this circuit for the first time in quite a few races. Keep with it. Still got a 4.1 second at the end, so still holding on to a top 5. Great job. We've got Harrison in 4th, Dean Fernandez still in 3rd behind Zach Osborne. And it's like gaining the Husqvarna as well. It's the Yamaha rider. Who will make it an old MX2 1-2. Gap now 2 seconds, been cut in half after that rounding line in that first section from Hillman. So he whips it good into last couple of hairpins. That's a minute 3. Built the gap back up to 3.2, but now there's a battle for second behind between Osborne and Fernandez. That will help Hillman, but they're too busy battling each other to be able to build this gap. And even though this win might be too late for the championship, it's good to carry this form into the second season. We'll probably stay in this series. Maybe he could go over to the West Series. We'll see. So he goes wide. Still not really sure that's the best line through those corners. He needs to let up the gas a bit more. And again with that jump as well. So we're landing on all the wrong spots there for most of that run. That was much better into the final corner. Look at Fernandez into second. Ahead of Osborne. It's back into the minute mark for Hillman. A quarter of the race to go. It is Fernandez up 2 seconds ahead of Zach Osborne. Again, that's important for the championship. Fernandez and Hillman battling in the lower part of the top 10, but for Osborne battling for the win, the championship, that's some points lost on his rivals. There's Mitchell Harrison in 4th, 7.2 back, then a bit of a gap to Lorenzo in 5th, 9.9 seconds behind. Our leader here, who's led for a long way. Oh, he let up too much there on the gas. That's much better over those jumps though. Got that right. And then into the right and left and right at the end of that. Dips into the 101s, but still 3.7 second lead as you look further down. Smith down in 11th. Chaz at the back. He has turned into a back marker in the second half of the season. So Jekyll and Hyde, night and day. You would expect that after winning 4 of the first 5 races. Only Hillman's winning Toronto. Only blotch on the copybook. And now in the second half of the season, his last couple of races, a back marker in 20 seconds. What has gone on? As in this like Mitchell Harrison up to 3rd ahead of Zach Osborne. As Varner's losing pace as this race goes on. And then Fernandez matching Hillman now in times. That Yamaha is coming on strong. Maybe a bit too late for the victory, but that's it right. The good thing for Osborne in 4th though is that Lorenzo, 4 seconds behind. It's once again dipping into the 101s. Here's Hillman. It's only got 2 laps to go, including this one. And what a ride this has been. It looked like Zach Osborne would be a rival in the first half of this race, to give Hillman some worries. But as Varner's lost pace, because Aki's kept it up and extends its lead over the Yamaha by the 6 seconds of Dan Fernandez. He just managed to keep up this relentless pace. He would not attempt any scrubs over these jumps. Just wants to bring it home. We'll keep an eye on Zach Osborne in 4th though, as I said, for the championship. That's important. Going to the left and right. Another minute of that. Right up there, his fastest lap. That was for Hillman, as you are on the final half of this race. And Osborne 9.4 back, Lorenzo 12.1 back, so there's a gap 2.7, so Lorenzo's closing that gap. We'll probably just run out of time there to catch Varner. What a race, there you can wave the seconds. 7.6 second gap. You can see some back marks, you can probably see Chaz right in front now. There's Osborne up to 3rd again, ahead of Mitchell Harrison. So back onto the podium just. But then Fernandez 4.6 back. To go over these mounts for the final time. Actually using some of his body weight there for the first time as well. To go much better. You remember that in future races. Just so you remember this fantastic victory. And the Cadette now has a Kawasaki 250F. When did that change from a 450? Was that last race? As Hillman wins by 5.7 seconds after 11 laps under the rain through the sludgy dirt. He has come out on top for his 2nd victory of the season and ends that barren run which he had in the second half of this season. Then we've got Fernandez in 2nd on the Yamaha. It is an old rivalry, old MX2 1-2 ahead of Zach Osborne. He recovered 2/3 on that final lap by just a 10th of a second ahead of Mitchell Harrison. Then Lorenzo on the Yamaha in 5th. What a race for Yamaha, 3 in the top 5. Then the Kawasaki of Adam in 6th, ahead of Alex Martin. Smith in 8th on the KTM, just behind his fellow manufacturer runner. Then Joey in 9th, and Christian Craig on the Honda rounds out the top 10. He is the top Honda in 10th. Carl Peters on the Suzuki in 13th. There's Chaz at the back behind Chase Sexton.
Those 3 rode the wheels off their machines. We have a tremendous championship fight brewing.
And Hillman is back up into 6th in the championship as Zach Osborne takes the lead by just 4 points ahead of Smith heading into the final race of the season, with Adam in 3rd, Joey in 4th, and Chaz down in 5th. He'll be lucky to maybe hold on to the top 5 with Hillman right on his tail now. Mitch Harris in 7th, Dylan Fernandez in 8th, Alex Martin in 9th, and Christian Craig rounds out the top 10. And the last rider in triple figures, with Lorenzo up to 11th after a superb run. And there's Yamaha as looking further down. How many riders score points this season? 32 now, with Aaron Hamilton at the back. So we got a decent amount of rewards. Again, the whole shot, but getting closer to achieving that. As up to level 37. And unlock a new portrait. As we look at the messages in the bottom left, try to reach at least 3/3, says GoPro. We've reached the end of the championship, with event 9 coming up. Few riders managed to compete at this level of performance in their first championship, as Kev Hillman has done. Saints MA Supercourse. I know it's been up and down for Hillman, but that's what happens with him, as no doubt we've already seen in MXGP. As the glory is all for you, high side. Enjoy this deserved triumph. I can't stand this tension. What tension, Tracy? What are you talking about? Well, it probably treated early, in the race. The excitement of the final race is always too much to hand out. I can only imagine how you're feeling. Show what you're capable of. We're off, well done. So lots of happy vans for the Hammer, for high side, for wherever he's going to be called in the final race of the season around the Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. Let's see what will happen. Will we grab another victory? Find out then. Sound for watching. I'll see ya next time.